Doom Eternal is the latest point-and-click adventure game from the developer John Romero. This series revolutionized, if not created, an entire genre of video games. A genre that really has been great these past few decades, but I feel has also been missing something lately. Yeah, sure, it's a meme to talk about the 50 quadrillion COD games, but the problem runs a little deeper. It's just not fun anymore to be one-shot by a McCree stunning you around the corner on his Smurf account.
This guy fucking sucks!
Multiplayer FPS games dominate the market right now, but not one of them has a perfect or even good track record with balance and toxicity. How many times have you gotten hacked or one-shot or stuck at a choke point? You could say this is natural for a shooter, but there's gotta be another way.
What?
Mr. Romero saw this problem and pondered upon his throne for many moons. Finally, he found the answer. On March 19th, 2020, he declared his next game would perfect the FPS formula and go back to the single-player roots of the game that started it all. On the next day, the game was finished, and the masses were left with perfection. There are so many different avenues I can tackle this game from, but let's start off with the gameplay. FPS games are just now moving away from the snail glued to the floor approach. I think freedom of movement is super important in any fun game. Some games accomplish this with character-specific abilities, others kinda slap a jetpack on you and call it a day. It's something, but I need more. Eternal is miles ahead of other FPS games in this regard, and it really doesn't do anything mind-blowing either. You get a double jump and 2 short dashes that only refill when you're grounded. The great thing about it is that the arenas are designed around these abilities perfectly, and since you feel like you have complete control of your character in every axis instantly, you can't blame your deaths on anything but yourself. I guess Eternal just hit me in the soft spot on this one. I struggle to say other games do movement wrong, because slow and methodical gunplay is fun too, but I can't help but feel pretty limited in something like, dare I say, Fortnite. How do we make the Y-axis fun? Okay, alright, yeah. Now, what about the X-axis? Anyways, mastering the movement in Eternal is super fun and pretty simple. I didn't even mention the monkey bars and portals around the maps that get you out of tight spots if you're a good player, but a good player is nothing in Doom without weapons. As director Hugo Martin puts it, the weapons are your tools and the demons are the problems.
AI are kind of like problems, and you want to bring the right tool for the job, so to speak.
Each demon is designed to encourage experimentation with your huge arsenal. The Carcass Demon throws up walls in front of you. This limits your movement and prevents you from spamming high damage weapons at risk of you killing yourself or losing lots of ammo. But then the game may throw a Whiplash Demon in the fight, which pressures you to move your ass constantly. Enemies may have conflicting designs, but this keeps you on your toes and forces you to think, to which Hugo would say,
when you're thinking, you're engaged. And when you're not thinking, you're bored.
You could meat hook away, blow up the Carcass shield with the plasma rifle, literally ignore it and kill either one of them. Improvisation is at the heart of this game's combat loop. No demon requires use of a specific weapon, but the game likes to tickle your taint in the right direction. Caco demons are one-shot by the combat shotguns, grenades, but you can always just chainsaw them, because why the hell not? Pinkies die to blood punches, but you may not have it ready. Titans are huge health sponges, but you can still freeze them and bring out your super shotgun and ballista to get some huge damage in. The real power from these weapons comes from the ability to quick swap between them to skip their cooldown animations. Swapping between your heavy hitters can really clean up house in this game. You can really get into a rhythm and feel like a god as you exterminate everything in your field of vision. Combine this with the movement I just talked about, your chainsaw for more ammo, and your AoE blood punch, and you won't even recognize yourself anymore. You've become an FPS deity. The devs describe this as the Doom Dance. Now that you've gotten a taste of the Doom Dance in the first few levels, the game puts your skills to the test with 3 main difficulty spikes, followed by increasingly more difficult arenas. First is the Doom Hunter boss fight. It starts you off against a decently hard boss for a first timer. You claim your victory and the game says good.
Now do it again. Twice.
It's a good awareness test of demons and resources, and it's followed by some tough fights. Arc Complex introduces the next spike with the Marauder. Alone, the Marauder isn't too bad. He has a pretty obvious tell for when he exposes his eyeballs, I guess, but the game gradually starts putting him in more clustered fights, which is where you really need to start paying attention. It's very easy to get overwhelmed by other demons if a Marauder is left to chill. The last spike comes from my favorite demon, the Archvile, on Terrace Nabad. It's a mixture of the demons I just mentioned, a force to be reckoned with by itself, and makes a suffocating fight even worse. Basically, he has a lot of health, does a lot of damage, and spawns more demons. I love to see the fear in his eyes moments before he gets mauled. This game does things to you, man. I could spend an eternity going over how well each arena is designed in a way to teach you, as well as give you a good challenge, but I'll just say that not many games nail a sense of self-improvement as well as this. It probably helps that I play on Nightmare, which the game is designed around, not to mention the exploration, which is very fun and very satisfying. Every upgrade feels like it matters, which encourages finding well-hidden secrets. Don't listen to the babies who hate needing to press the spacebar twice to platform to a health upgrade. The game slowly introduces harder demons and puts them in different situations. There could be a Marauder and an Archvile, 2 Marauders, 2 Titans, fucking 10 billion Whiplashes, followed by a Titan, 2 Mancubi, and a bunch of Prowlers. Did I mention this fight starts with an Archvile? Each arena is a challenge to overcome and a new skill to add to your repertoire. Eternal is a lot more than just its gameplay. Everyone talks about the Doom Dance, but I don't see many people recognize the hopeless mass destruction of hell on Earth, or the thousands of dead bodies being delivered by the truckload in Necroval. The mess of gore in every aspect of the game is horrifically beautiful. It's pretty cathartic strolling around seeing everything humanity has ever worked for get burned to the ground, while also playing as the only supreme badass that can give those demons the old one too, fueled by his own pure anger. Id really went off on the story of the Slayer. I guess they realized they can't make him as cool as he is without giving him a crazy backstory where he survives for millennia in hell fighting demons without rest, only to be awarded incredible strength after his mind is already broken. Despite what John Romero said about the original Dooms, I think background like this keeps the Slayer's thoughts a bit of a mystery while also not making him devoid of any human emotion like these guys. I don't know. Something about the Slayer's character really speaks to me. He has a no bullshit attitude and really doesn't have time for other people's shit. The main antagonist is just an annoyance to him. Remember how Samuel Hayden in the last game basically betrayed and used you for his own benefit?
I am not the villain in this story. You cannot stop him. Earth has no hope for survival.
Well, now the Slayer is swinging him around like a dickhead.
You can't just shoot a hole into...
The Slayer is a one-man band orchestrating a symphony of violence. In my opinion, the first-person perspective storytelling really complemented Doom 2016. I'll never forget the Slayer getting pissed off at Hayden's YouTuber apology speech while one of his dead scientists is right there.
Our interest in their world was purely for the betterment of mankind.
Eternal moves away from this Half-Life style of narrative by most of the time showing the Slayer in his full glory. It's cool in its own sort of way, but I miss the moments where the Slayer would let his rage shine through. You lose a little bit of the impact of his anger by showing an outside perspective of the Slayer's actions. I would describe him more as apathetic in Eternal than mad. Looking back at Doom 2016 is really weird. The colors are so dark and muddy. It's a much more depressing game with a pseudo-focus on horror. Eternal has a much more vibrant and expressive palette. In general, it's much more retro video gamey. You don't even physically pick up the key cards anymore, they float in the air like the original Doom. The demons also have super iconic designs, mostly taken from the original games. I'm going all over the place, but these elements so perfectly blend into a Trix yogurt of gaming. I guess I should talk a little bit about battle mode. The multiplayer in this game is such a missed opportunity for me. Although, since the main game is peak video game, I see battle mode as more of a stepping stone to greatness for a future game. You play as either the Slayer with all his tools, or a demon on a team of 2. From the beginning, the concept of a 1-on-2 FPS game was already a little iffy to me. In multiplayer games, I personally really value teamwork. You can get a taste of this as a demon player. Damn it, my demons are blocking my fireballs. But you have no one to fall back on if your one teammate dies or if you play as the Slayer. The biggest problem with this mode is that the teams require 2 completely different skill sets. The Slayer needs pure aim and skill with some ammo management, but the demons need total cooperation, which just doesn't work with randos. I'm not even claiming to be any good at this mode, but not many others are very good at it either, to be fair. Alright, just gotta find one Slayer. Just one Slayer. Just one Slayer. That's it. I would have much preferred a traditional asymmetrical class-based experience. If fucking Plants vs. Zombies can make a good one, then I bet id can too. It sucks because the demons are really fun to play, and the skins they release are fucking amazing. Again, I don't hate this mode, I just want something more from it in a future game. Eternal is a very special game to me. The adrenaline pumping through my veins as I'm 10 health away from dying in a long ass Slayer gate is something very hard to replicate in a single player game.
Oh, that's gotta sting!
It's almost like I enter a zen state. I never get frustrated. The incredibly intense tracks by Mick Gordon help push me forward.
Then what I was able to do was reconstruct E1M1 using the 9-string guitar, while still incorporating those 4 original notes.
If I die, I shake it off and get ready for round 2. And this game can get hard, man. Director Hugo Martin talks about how the game is crafted around the most demanding difficulty, but there is never anything the player can't handle. You start the game, the devs take off your training wheels for a bit, and suddenly you have a master's in ripping and tearing. I can really respect the id team for going above and beyond, making this game such a rewarding experience to learn and master. I hope more shooters follow suit in the future. At the end of the day, I won't forget my time with Eternal until the Slayer admits defeat to the ever-growing armies of hell.